Good morning. We're going to call the Board of Public Safety meeting for Tuesday, July 8th to order. Nancy, could we have a roll call?
Good morning, everyone. All four of our members are with us in the council chambers this morning, constituting our quorum. Tessa Barnes.
Here.
Stacy Davis.
Here.
Laisha Black.
Here.
Anthony Coleman.
Here.
We do have one vacancy on this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. All right, if we could start out with a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion pass. And the first item is our approval of our meeting minutes for June 24th.
I make a motion we approve the minutes from June 24th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. And the next item on our agenda is our claim and allowance docket.
Make a motion to approve the claim and allowance docket in the amount of $1,236. Where am I at here? $1,236,275.64, consisting of 8 pages, dated 7/1/2025, 10:49 a.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion pass. Thank you.
Okay, I don't need that.
And good morning, Chief.
Good morning. Dan Melanie, Chief of the Elkhart Police Department. I have a few things on the agenda for you today. One is going to be the awarding of a bid, number 25-01. It's for upfitting our squad cars. After reviewing that, we have chosen Auto Obsessions to put before the board for approval. It was the lowest bid and also met all the specifications and requirements that we need.
All right. Anybody have any questions for the chief on this bid?
I make a motion to award bill number 25-01, uplifting of squads to Auto Obsessions, who submitted the lowest bid response with a contract price in the amount of $154,530.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. The next thing I have in front of you is a contract to be approved or requested for approval it's a company called Urban SDK. Basically, it's a software program that allows us to utilize data that is collected by a third party and then analyzed by this company. And basically what it does is it allows us to utilize data from vehicle entertainment systems, things like OnStar, stuff like that. It doesn't identify who the driver or the vehicle is. What it does is it gives basic data information, how fast the vehicle is going, direction, things like that. So we can look at, speed indications. If we're getting complaints on speeds, we're seeing traffic patterns, things like that. We've also talked to like urban planning and engineers with the city. They were also interested in utilizing this software as well, so they can look at traffic patterns. Think about when they reroute like the Benham with the underpass, and they're okay, we're going to make this the alternate route, and then they can actually see if people are following the alternate route. Are they going up through neighborhoods? What are the vehicle patterns actually doing? And so this just allows us to see those patterns and provides that information for us. This was approved by legal. Any questions? I know it's kind of a lot. But any questions that I can help clarify?
Well, this system, is it utilizing systems that we already have in place in the city to collect the data, or is it putting new collection sites in?
No, so what it really is, it's not collecting anything. The city doesn't do anything. So this is all data that is already being collected. So if you have OnStar, GPS in your vehicle, Ford, all the, like our new Fords have data points in them that send up data up into the cloud. And you think about like OnStar and you're like, why don't utilize OnStar? Don't pay for it. Well, that data is still working. They're still collecting all that data. And it's not personal data. So I don't know that, Dan Milanese is driving this car at this place at this time. It's there's a Ford Explorer traveling this direction at this speed. So it's anonymous when it comes to the operator, but it still gives us the data for the vehicle. So we have somebody that says, hey, we're seeing a lot of, getting reports of a lot of speeding on, let's say, Kennard 6, in between Kennard 7 and Kennard 5. We can actually pull that up, look at what the median speed is in that area, the average speed. We can find the highest, we can find the lowest, and about, I think, 92% of cars roughly have some sort of reporting system in them to where they're collecting some sort of data. And so we can get a pretty accurate, without having to send, you know, an officer right up there right away to sit between 5 and 7. We can look at it and go, oh, really? Where it's not between 5 and 7, it's between 5 and John Weaver Parkway. And we can utilize that data to be able to put, you know, our assets in the right place quicker than wasting 2 weeks looking at a place where they're not really speeding. And then again, when I know the city engineers looked at it, they also looked at it as like, man, you know, we've all driven over those tubes, you know, where they count the cars you drive over the road. That kind of makes that obsolete, because now they can just go in, log in, put in between this section and this section and go, okay, how many cars are going through here? While it's not an exact count, much like the tubes aren't an exact count, it gives you a very, very good outlook and probability of what's really going through there. So that's what this does. And they came in, they've done several demos with us, and there are other municipalities that are using it as well. And they seem to be having some luck with it. So we're going to try it out and see what we can do to collect this data and move forward.
So
Go ahead.
when you say 90% of cars have some kind of reporting system, not all cars have like OnStar or something like that. So what other kind of reporting systems do you know?
I don't know all of them. There are several of them. So I believe even like Apple CarPlay, anything that hooks up to a car that sends data up into the cloud. So there's a lot of different versions of that, and they go through and list all of them, how many they get. I can't remember the exact number, but there's quite a few. And I believe it was right around 90 or 92%, I believe, of vehicles on the road today roughly have some sort of system.
Basically, it's tapping into the same system that we use when we try and get directions somewhere, and it tells us where there's traffic backed up.
Correct. There's so many things that it can go into. And I mean, you think about using Waze or anything that, you know, you think about that, all that's tied to your vehicle going at a certain speed, telling you what's going on. So all that data is collected. And I'm assuming if we look at all the fine print and the things we agree to, that we all agree to utilize that stuff. So, but this company is pretty unique, because they take it and they analyze it and provide it for us. So
What happens if we don't get this? How are we getting that data?
well, we're not. So we have to physically go out and do it. So, you know, one of the things obviously that you guys know is it's been a challenge for us when it comes to, you know, staffing and things like that. So the more I can call, and it's not a new term, but they call it a force multiplier, right? So anything I can utilize to help in productivity without having to send somebody out and do it gives us that advantage. So if somebody else is going to come in and go, here's the information you're looking for, and we don't have to go get it, that helps us. So the only other way to get it is to manually sit out there and to assign someone and pay them to do that. This helps offset that cost.
Ready for a motion? Make a motion to approve the purchase of Urban SDK software.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. And I think the last thing I have for you is a contract from Train for our HVAC system. Basically, we have a unit that is having difficulty, and it's starting to have some errors and not function properly. Before they can fix it, they have to do a leak test. So we've got to do some, it's kind of like going to the doctor. We got to go take x-rays before we can find out what's wrong. Well, we have to have a contract for Train to come in and diagnose what's wrong before we can decide how we want to fix it. So this is just a contract for them to come in and do the diagnosis, but we have to enter a contract with them.
Can I get a motion to approve the train test agreement?
I make a motion to approve the train test agreement in the amount of $1,013.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, and other than that, I don't have anything. I hope you guys had a good Fourth. I don't know if anybody came out to the city, but it was an awesome event. Lots and lots and lots of people, and it went off really well. The music, the fireworks, everything was, I thought, excellent. So, any questions for me? Anything I can answer? Okay. We have given 9 conditional offers in the last few weeks. So if all that plays out to the point where they all get sworn in, that'll be probably by mid, all of them, some in different stages, but mid to late August. So we'll add 9, which will be very welcomed. 5 of them are going to be laterals, so they'll already be pre-certified law enforcement officers. So we're excited to have them. That obviously kind of speeds up the process when you don't have to go to the academy and do some of those things. So just want to make you aware of that, let you know we're still moving forward with hiring, and we'll keep plugging away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have another engagement to go to. Is there anything else you need me to stay for that, or would you be okay with me excusing myself?
There isn't anything else on the agenda. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, the next item on our agenda is the fire department, and there are not any reports for the fire department. And the next item is our communications center. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Dustin McLean with the Communications 911 Center. I don't have anything on the agenda for you, but if you guys have any questions or anything like that for me, be happy to answer. Perfect. All right. Well, if you guys decide you want to come up and visit, let me know. We can go ahead and set up a time, get you a headset, and I know, Anthony, you're kind of used to it up there. So, but if you guys ever want to come up, just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Dustin.
Thanks.
Good morning, building and code enforcement.
Amy Latimer with Building and Code. We have several items to bring to you guys today. The first is a asbestos contract with Clean Air Environmental Services. Back in January, we had asked for a different asbestos contract with a different company. We ran into some issues and needed to find a new contractor.
Is this a contract that needs to be reviewed by legal?
Legal did review it and approved it, yes.
Barring any questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the contract between the City of Elkhart and Clean Air Environmental Services.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Next item is our list of, we have 5 properties that we're taking to an order to take action hearing in July. And so that's just for your guys' review. And we'll present a follow-up after the meeting.
Right. Could I get a motion to put the properties for this order to take action hearing on record?
I make a motion to put the properties for order to take action hearing on 7/29/25 on file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed.
Lastly, I have the Building and Code June monthly reports.
Anybody have any questions? Could I get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the building department monthly report and place it on file for June 2025.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to other public safety matters. The first item is Fire Merit Commission minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes, Fire Merit Commission minutes of June 9, 2025.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion pass. And we still have the Lieutenant Ryan Chris grievance hearing. This is a tabled item. Is an item that will remain tabled. And the third item on our other public safety matters is an action item to accept the communication that is the clarification of filing date and jurisdictional routing for Lieutenant Otto and a formal protest for Lieutenant Chris and Lieutenant Otto grievances. I do need a motion to accept this communication.
I make a motion to accept the communication of clarification of the filing date and jurisdiction routing and place it on file.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This is accepted. Okay, I do need a motion for the the second page, please.
I make a motion to accept the formal protest for Lieutenant Chris and Lieutenant Otto grievances.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This motion passes as well. And this is the time for any public participation or comments. Hearing none, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
All right. Thank you all.